Now it's my pleasure to introduce David Woodward. David, will you stand up? David is our day chair, and this is a big responsibility in our club, managing all of the details around the program. And today, I think it's safe to say we have a lot of moving parts. But David is in charge, and we're in good hands. He's going to preside over the short program. And before I let him do that, I want to share a little bit about David. He serves as the president and CEO of Associates in Cultural Exchange, a Seattle-based not-for-profit that promotes language and intercultural education. David has been a Seattle Rotarian for a good number of years. He's a member of our International Service Committee, and he currently serves on our club's board of directors. So David, first, thank you for all you do, and especially for today, and I'm turning the program over to you now.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, first and foremost, happy Asian Lunar New Year. This is the week, right? Isn't this awesome? I wore a very special tie a friend of mine from Hong Kong, Julie Wu, gave me many years ago in honor of this important occasion. Greetings, distinguished members of the Consular Association of Washington, Deputy Mayor Kim, fellow Rotarians and guests. Welcome to Seattle Rotary's first annual Diplomacy Day. I dare say everyone in this room knows that our world today needs diplomatic expertise as never before to deal with the world's global challenges. But here in Seattle Rotary, we also know from our 107-year history of citizen diplomacy, our city and region benefits tremendously from the diversity of people, cultures, languages, and expertise that make our region so wonderful. Today, we launched Seattle Rotary's Diplomacy Initiative with the announcement of the formation of the Diplomacy Task Force. And I'd like to now invite all Diplomacy Task Force members to stand as a group. Would you all please stand who are members of the Diplomacy Task Force? This group is not a committee, but a resource group to everyone in Rotary, in Seattle Rotary and across the region, representing members with a special passion and expertise for cross-cultural and international relations. All Rotary members are welcome to be part of the Diplomacy Initiative. We also plan to support the entire 530 district as requested to assist with engaging diplomatic and expat leaders in our region. Most importantly, our charge through the coming years is to facilitate reciprocal ties between members of Rotary and the communities represented by consular officials. We'll be exploring ways to share information and raise awareness across various communities. The 25 officials honoring us today are part of a larger group of consular officials representing tens of thousands of expat professionals in the Seattle region and connecting us to hundreds of millions of people around the world. I might add that over 10% of the folks in Washington are born outside of the United States. I'm one of them. I was born in Tehran, Iran. What a wonderful multilingual and multicultural resource we have in this state. The school district of Kent, many of you may know, has over 125 languages spoken, most diverse linguistically in the country. Today we're starting with the most important step of all, to get to know all our neighbors regardless of ethnicity, nationality, language, or culture, and to grow together in friendship. And now as I read the name of each country represented and the diplomats representing them, consular representatives are requested to rise and remain standing so that we can recognize you together when I conclude the introductions. At the head table to my left are Diplomacy Task Force Blue Ribbon members. Representing the country of Japan, Masahiro Omura, Consul General. Korea, Mr. Byung-Kun Kim, Deputy Consul General, representing Consul General Duck Ho Moon. Taiwan, Mr. Andy Chin, Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office. Brazil, Mr. Pedro A. Costa, Honorary Consul and President of the Consular Association. And longtime Rotarians all. City of Seattle, Mr. Paul Neville, International Affairs Director, on loan from the U.S. State Department for 2 years. And Mr. Ralph Monroe, retired Washington Secretary of State for 20 years. And continuing to the officials seated around the room representing the country of Canada, Mr. James Hill, Consul General. Mr. Michael Wolf, Consul and Senior Trade Commissioner. Mr. Louis Coughlin, Consul and Trade Commissioner. And adding Mr. Harkiran Rajasanji, Consul, Foreign Policy and Diplomacy Service. Thank you, Ms. Harkiran. And now Russia, Mr. Andrei Yushmanov, Consul General, and Dean of the Consular Corps, and Mr. Khalid Aysin, Consul. And Mexico, Mr. Eduardo Vaca Cuenca, Consul. And Belgium, Honorary Consul Ron Masnik. And Hungary, Honorary Consul General Helen Zibela. And France, Jack Cowan, Honorary Consul. And Germany, Ms. Petra Walker, Honorary Consul. And Vice President of the Consular Association. And Switzerland, Honorary Consul Philippe Getschel. And Norway, Honorary Consul Kim Nesselquist. Peru, Honorary Consul General Miguel Velasquez. Finland, Honorary Vice Consul Kristina Hyeok. Albania, Honorary Consul General Natasha Savage. Poland, Honorary Consul Teresa Indelak Davis and Vice President of the Consular Association. Ethiopia, Honorary Consul Mark Ganter. Turkey, Consul General Emeritus John Gökçen. Estonia, Consul Emeritus Marth Kask. And Ukraine, Honorary Consul Valery Golobduko. Finally, please take a green table flyer, and let's give a big round of applause here before I talk about the table flyer. Thank you. So finally, look on your tables. Please take a green table flyer with the complete list of Consular Association of Washington members. You'll note that there are a lot more people that are members of this association, 41 countries represented, and these are just a valuable resource to all of us for speakers and engaging with all kinds of organizations. So we hope that this is just the beginning of a long engagement. Now I'd like to ask all our other visitors and guests to stand. All our other visitors and guests who have not yet been recognized. And finally, let us help one another to, as Pope Francis put it this week, overcome the globalization of indifference. Life is too precious to give in to cynicism or to just focus on the self or our own community alone. None of us can solve our own problems or the world's problems by ourselves. We need one another. Thank you again, members of the Consular Association of Washington, for honoring us with your presence today. And thank you all, Seattle Rotary members, for supporting this diplomacy initiative.
Thank you, David. thank you for your leadership and vision for Diplomacy Day and for the Diplomacy Task Force Initiative at Seattle Rotary. Joining us for our Diplomacy Day celebration, we have the privilege of being joined by Deputy Mayor Hyeok Kim. Ms. Kim has served as Mayor Murray's deputy for 2 years, with a focus on community and external relations. Prior to her posting with the city, Ms. Kim served as the executive director of the Interim Community Development Association. Today, she is the mayor's chief liaison to Seattle's neighborhoods, as well as to regional, national, and international leaders. Please join me in welcoming Seattle City Deputy Mayor Hyeok Kim.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. And on behalf of Mayor Ed Murray, I just wanted to provide some brief remarks. First, to say thank you for the incredible work that was taken to organize this lovely luncheon today. But more importantly, I think for the incredible years of service that has gone into creating a culture in our city, culminating in events like today, where Seattle is growing its reputation as a global city and having global impact. This is definitely an objective and a goal that Mayor Murray really sought out very intentionally when he came into office. And the luncheon today and the fact that we are celebrating the first Diplomacy Day is really an incredible mark of how Seattle's global reputation has grown. So I just also want to say thank you to President Martin. I'm looking forward to your remarks in just a few minutes, but also just want to acknowledge the incredible leadership that you have shown in our city, not only in response to horrific tragedies that occurred on the SPU campus a couple of years ago, but also for your leadership on the issue of homelessness, which is so critically important in our city. So thank you so much, President Martin. The one thought I would like to leave with you before I leave this microphone is for Mayor Murray, when he came into office in January of 2014, he was very intentional about wanting to make sure that as Seattle's global reputation grows, that we are creating a city and an environment and a culture that is thinking about how those international connections can support a thriving local economy and vice versa. But last year, this past fall, with the events of the tragedy that occurred on the Aurora Bridge, I think that the importance and the incredible vital asset that we have in our consular corps really came to light for Mayor Murray. As many of you know, the Aurora Bridge accident occurred that resulted in over 50 individuals being admitted to our local hospitals, about 8 different hospitals, including the vast majority of whom were initially admitted to Harborview. And among those individuals, there were about 15 different nationalities that were represented among the patients that were admitted. And we had incredible, excellent city leadership, like that of Fire Chief Harold Scoggins, who I see in the back room there. Chief, if you want to, can you stand up, sir? The immediate aftermath of that crisis could not have been, I think, more important in terms of the city understanding the important role of our consular community and the relationships that we had with so many of your offices, the relationship that we have with the State Department to manage the crisis, to triage that crisis, resulted in families being reunited, resulted in families understanding and having information about where their critical patients were. That, I think, more than anything else for Mayor Murray, really crystallized the deep relationships and the deep support that the city must give to our consular corps because it affects anyone who visits Seattle. It affects the economic health and vitality of our city. But it also affects, I think, some tragedies and how the city responds to those tragedies when they occur. So I just wanted to share that anecdote with this room to really hit home that the city of Seattle, under Mayor Murray's leadership, is incredibly appreciative of all of the work that our consular corps and our diplomatic community does here in the city of Seattle, and the city of Seattle stands ready to be a continuing partner with you. So thank you.